Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be about 10 underwhelming makeup products to me. If you caught yesterday's video, I did 10 underrated makeup products or makeup products that I really enjoy and think deserve more hype. And today we're going to do the flip side. We're going to do products that I find to be a little bit on the underwhelming side. Maybe I do think that these get a lot of hype out there, or that's why I purchased them or had my eye on them, and I was just a little bit let down. Like, I still enjoyed these, but they didn't quite meet those expectations that maybe I had. So if you want to see 10 underwhelming makeup products, in my opinion, why don't we go ahead and get started. As always, like I said with yesterday's video, these videos are all personal preference, so these are just my opinions. And also, of course, when it comes to underwhelming makeup products, I'm again not saying that everybody absolutely loves all of these products, but just in general, I feel like I hear really good things about these, and for me, they just kind of slightly missed the mark. A lot of these I still really do like, they just didn't quite give me that like that I feel like so many other people might have. But jumping into it, the first one that I have here is a highlight and new, like, I have a lot of highlights in here. I'm not sure what was going on, but get ready for some highlights. But the first highlight that I want to talk about is this one from Maybelline, and this is the Master Chrome by Face Studio Metallic Highlighter, and it is in Molten Gold. I have been watching so many best of 2017 videos, and I feel like every other video practically has this highlight in here, and I'm like, what am I missing? I know I used this in a first impressions video, and I was like, okay, it's good and stuff, but I didn't quite feel that pull right away that I was maybe expecting to get. And like I said, it is still a really nice highlight, and I feel like it swatches really, really beautifully. I really do. Like, look at that. I feel like it swatches so nice, but for some reason it doesn't seem to translate onto my face the way that I want it to in the swatch. And I've tried different brushes with it, from fluffier brushes to more dense brushes. I feel like I still just can't quite get that level of excitement that I'm seeing so many other people have, which is such a bummer to me. Maybelline did send this one to me, and I was very excited about it because, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of hype. It had been in my Ulta cart for a very long time, so to be able to get this, I was so excited about it. So when it kind of missed that mark for me, I was like, why? But yes, this Maybelline Master Chrome, again, I saw this mentioned so many times in best of videos, but I like it. I just can't say that I love it. And then a foundation here that I have, this is from Makeup Forever, and this is their Ultra HD foundation. This to me is one that I kind of consider a cult favorite, and I've still been wanting to do a video on like trying out cult favorite makeup products and just kind of giving my reviews on them. I've been purchasing them. This one was actually in my Sephora Loves This for a very long time. I did get this one sent to me actually from Influencer, and then also Makeup Forever did send me a PR package, so I do have 2 different shades of this, which is super. I was so glad because, like I said, it had been on my Sephora Loves List. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to try it out. I feel like from like when I first started watching YouTube videos, this and then also the Makeup Forever stick foundation, I feel like I hear a lot about those, and I tend to lean towards these more regular liquid foundations versus the stick, so that's why I have this one on my loves list. So super excited, super grateful to be able to try it out. And again, I like this foundation. I enjoy it. I wear it every once in a while, and when I first got it, I was like, yes, this foundation is great. I'm going to love this one. I know it. Like, I had that kind of like feeling right away, like we're gonna get along and we're going to be best friends. But kind of how I gauge what my favorites are is, what am I consistently reaching for? What are you constantly seeing in my description box down below? Because I always link all of my makeup. What foundations are you always seeing there? When I post an Instagram photo and I list my makeup, what are you like, oh my gosh, she's wearing that foundation again? Even though I have a lot of foundations, I definitely have my favorites that I am constantly reaching for. And then I also think about, what do I travel with? What am I going out of town with? And I'm like, I have to have this foundation come with me. And I can't say that about this foundation. This one has never come traveling with me, and I've had this foundation since the summertime, I believe. It has never come traveling with me, and when I'm looking over my foundations, I'm not often reaching for this one. There's like 5, 6, 7 other foundations that I would put before this one. So that's how I know it's not a favorite of mine. So that to me was a little bit on the underwhelming side, not only because I hear a lot of people talk it up, I see a lot of hype about it, you know, I considered it a cult favorite, but I think maybe I was a little bit underwhelmed because I was so excited to get this one because it had been on my loves list for so long. So being able to get it and try it out, I was like, yes, score, this is awesome, I'm gonna love this one. And so when I didn't, I was kind of like, no, why? So the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, I still enjoy it, I still wear it, I still reach for it. it's just a little bit on the underwhelming side to me. The next one I have, I know it's probably gonna surprise a lot of people, and this one is another highlighter. This is from Wet n Wild, and it's one of the Mega Glow highlighting powders. I bought this one because I hear everybody talk about the Wet n Wild highlighters. Again, I feel like I saw this mentioned a bit in the best of videos, but I definitely think I saw the Maybelline one, at least of course from the videos that I'm watching. I think I saw the Maybelline one recommend it more in that video. I did buy this because I heard so much hype about it. I purchased it from Ulta, and it's really affordable. It's like $4 or $5 or something like that, and I remember purchasing from Ulta and I had some sort of discount going on or extra points or something. So I mean, it was totally, to me it was worth it because I still do enjoy this highlight, and especially for such an affordable price. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I don't feel that level of love that I feel like so many other people have with this one. And I'm like, why? I just want to love you. I picked up my shade in Precious Petals, and there is a swatch here of that one. And this one, I don't feel like swatches great, so I have the Precious Petals swatch right there. I don't feel like it swatches to the level of the Maybelline one, but I actually would say that I like this on my face a little bit more than the Maybelline one. So with almost every single product I'm talking about, I still like these. I just don't necessarily love them type of thing. And with this one, just seeing how many people were recommending it and seeing how many people have purchased all of the different highlights in this collection, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start with Precious Petals, and then I'm gonna purchase this one, and then I'm gonna purchase that one, and I'm just gonna like try to collect basically all of the Wet n Wild highlights. And I have not purchased another one because there's just other highlights that I enjoy more. And while I still like this one, I just don't feel that pull to go out and grab another shade. So this is one that I know I feel like a lot of people really do like this, but unfortunately I just couldn't quite fall in love with it. Next up, I have another eyeshadow palette here, and this is one that I wish so hard I would have like fallen head over heels in love with. And again, I like this one, but not to the level that I think I was expecting to fall in love with it. This is from Dose of Colors, and it's the collaboration with Desi Perkins and Katy or Luster Luxe, and it is their eyeshadow quad in, it is called The Girls, and then the shade names are all named after their 4 dogs, which I always thought was super cute. So this is what the inside looks like, and I mean, you can tell that I have used it and I do enjoy this palette, but I was really expecting this to just become an absolute #1 favorite. Like, I was gonna be shouting from my roof how much I absolutely adore this palette. I love Desi and Katy. They are 2 of my favorite big time influencers. I love how real they keep it. I love their friendship and how much they do to promote other women, especially, you know, each other, but other influencers as well. I think they are really some of the best out there, in my opinion, of course. And I also love Dose of Colors as a brand. I love the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. I have the Sassy Siennas palette on my eyes today. Love them. So when I started seeing their Snapchats of this and using it on their eyes, I was like, I am going to absolutely adore this palette. And I don't love it as much as I had hoped I was going to. I enjoy that we get the mirror in there. I like the packaging. You know, I think this kind of shiny bit is super cute, and the shades are interesting, but they're hard to work with. I'm fairly sure I mentioned this in a high maintenance makeup products video. I'll leave that one linked down below. I did that quite a while ago, but this definitely is a high maintenance palette. You really need to use setting sprays with almost all of the shades in here. They're better applied with your fingers versus a brush, and I am someone who personally does not enjoy putting my fingers in makeup. Like, I have swatches right now on my fingers and it's driving me absolutely insane. I just want to wipe them off so bad. So having to apply makeup with my fingers is not my personal favorite to do, and so for that reason, it makes it a little bit challenging. But I do like the palette, and even we were traveling one time, we were going out of town to Iowa City, and I was kind of deciding, we were having like a girls' night all weekend. A girls' weekend, I guess, then you would say. We were having a girls' weekend, both those nights, and I was like, you know, what's kind of fun, what's kind of different that I could do with my eye look? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab this one. And I ended up using, I think, this shade the first night and this shade the second night, because they are fun and unique. It just, I know it's gonna take me a little bit longer, and I just didn't quite fall in love with it as hard as I had hoped to. Again, I still enjoy it. I'm not sure if this is still available because it was a collaboration. It is limited edition. If it is still available, I will have it linked down below, but I didn't return it. I didn't, you know, put it on my Poshmark or anything like that. I still do want to keep it, partly because I still do want to support Desi, Katy, and Dose of Colors, but also because I'll reach for it every now and again and get a good makeup look out of it, but just not an absolute favorite of mine. And then another product I want to talk about here is from Kevyn Aucoin. Again, it's another highlighter. Seriously, I don't know why highlights like are dominating this video. It was kind of strange to me. But this is the Neo highlighter in Sahara, and it is a Golden Rose Glow. This is one that when I saw Kevyn Aucoin coming out with these, I was so excited about it. I wanted them. I'm pretty sure I put it in a Will I Buy It video and was like, I'm so attracted to these and I really do want to get them, but they are more pricey. Kevyn Aucoin is a very pricey brand, and I want to see these are like in the $50 range, maybe $58 for one highlight. And I was like, I just feel like that's too expensive. Even though all of these highlights kind of have like an ombre effect, so you can do a darker highlight over here, you can fade to a lighter highlight. I typically mix this one all together, and that is my preference. Like I said, I think this is a pretty highlight. I was just wearing it in a video the other day. I think it's pretty, but it's not anything that like super overwhelms me, which is why it's in the underwhelming video, Samantha. It's not something that overwhelms me or that I'm like, everybody needs this highlight. And I guess I just thought for Kevyn Aucoin, whose most of the products from that brand knock it out of the park for me. I enjoy so many products from Kevyn Aucoin, and this one just kind of fell short for me. I also think that these are very powdery highlights. Like when I dip my brush in there, it really kicks up a lot, so I'm constantly trying to like blow off the palette. It looks nice on the skin, but it's just not, especially for my type of highlight. I really like more highlights with an oomph to them for my cheekbones, and this one kind of gives that, what did it say it was called? Golden Rose Glow. It kind of gives like a soft rose glow is what I would say. So I think I was expecting, for the brand and for the price, I think I was expecting a lot more, but this one just was kind of underwhelming. And I think that Kevyn Aucoin has better highlights out there, so not necessarily able to like fully recommend these. Again, I still enjoy it and I'll still reach for it, but just not the best, especially from that brand. Next up, I have another eyeshadow palette here to talk about. This is from MAC Cosmetics, and this is the Fashion Fanatic palette. I think this one was underwhelming to me because this was the first time I was ever trying out MAC eyeshadows, and I have heard relatively really good things about MAC eyeshadows, eyeshadow palettes. I see MAC shadows being used a lot in tutorials, and this was from when I first started watching YouTube videos. I always had it on my list to purchase MAC eyeshadows because I would see them so much. So this was the first time I was trying out their shadows. I did get this one sent to me in PR as well, and I was so excited about it, and I couldn't wait, and I used this like immediately. I was like, I have to use this. I'm just so excited about it. And again, I think it's okay, but it wasn't anything that necessarily blew me away, and I was like, wait, what? And so I did another look with it, and I was like, still just okay. And I remember the month that I got this one, I did feature it in my makeup monthly, and I put it in the fine category because I said, you know, it's not a complete fail. I don't think all of the shadows are duds, but it just didn't quite excite me to the level that I thought it was going to excite me. So MAC came out with a bunch of these different types of palettes. I got sent the Fashion Fanatic, so you have a bunch of different eyeshadows in here, and then you also got a highlight shade. And again, the highlight shade to me was just okay. There wasn't really anything about this palette that really made me like jump up and gasp and, you know, want to tell everybody to go ahead and buy it. I just thought it was decent. I thought it was good. I will say that I recently also received the MAC and Patrick Star collection in PR. I'm working on a review for that. I've been trying out all the different products that was sent to me, and my reviews will be coming soon for that. And I will say that I was more excited about those MAC shadows in there than I was in here. So I don't know if maybe just for some reason these palettes were a little bit different formula-wise, because I definitely like the MAC Patrick Star eyeshadows much better. But this one to me, just a little bit underwhelming. I think maybe this is going to be the last highlight I'm talking about, maybe. Next up here I have a highlight palette, and this is from Urban Decay, and it's the Afterglow highlight palette. I recently mentioned this one, I believe it was in my Black Friday follow-up video, because I did purchase this around Black Friday time. And you know, if you've been watching my channel, I fell in love with the Urban Decay Sin highlight this year. Absolutely loved it. I've been raving about it forever, and so when Urban Decay released this new highlight palette, I purchased it right away, and I was very excited about it. When I mentioned it in my follow-up video, I did say it's on sale right now for like $19. Hopefully it's still on sale when this video goes up. I will have it linked down below, of course. And I said for $19, like I would have been very excited about this palette and been like, yes, you should go ahead and buy this. But for the $34, I just thought it was decent. And I think for this one had me a little bit underwhelmed because I had such high expectations from the Sin highlight that I was like, I'm gonna love every single shade. I'm just like, this is gonna become my new go-to highlight palette that I absolutely like must bring with me, constantly reaching for it. And I don't reach for it that much. I do still enjoy it. I like it, and especially Cliche and No Angel. I really enjoy those shades, and I think that they are very pretty, but as a whole, I just kind of felt a little bit underwhelmed by this one, and maybe that's my fault. Like, do you guys ever do that where you build something up so high in your mind, and then you get it and you're like, ooh, is it falling short because I had too high of expectations? Because I feel like maybe that's what happened with this guy. Again, I do still like it. I'm not going to get rid of it or anything like that. I didn't return it or anything. I would just recommend getting it on sale if you can, if it's still on sale, but it's still a nice highlight palette. It just, we didn't click to the level I thought we were gonna click, if you know what I'm saying. Next up, I don't have any products to show in particular, but this is just kind of a brand in general that I've come to realize just really doesn't do anything for me. It's a skincare brand, and that is Sunday Riley. I feel like Sunday Riley definitely gets a lot of hype out there. A lot of people use their products and talk about their products. It's also a very expensive, like luxury, high-end skincare brand. For that reason, I've always been afraid to purchase a full-size product just because if it doesn't work for me, I'm going to be out a lot of money. So that kind of always held me back from purchasing a full-size products. But I have used like 100 point perks at Sephora. I've also gotten samples and things like that because I really did want to try out the brand and figure out what is it that works for me, what is it that excites me. And truly, I can't really find anything from the brand that I'm like, yes, this is my go-to. I love this one. Oh my gosh, I finished the sample. I either need another sample, I need the full size right away. And especially for the Sunday Riley price point, I cannot get on board with that. And I've just been really surprised just, you know, how much I hear about them. And I've been watching the best of skincare videos as well. A lot of people are mentioning items in there from Sunday Riley and products that I have tried in samples. And I'm like, this does nothing for me. I think in my most recent empties video, which was a live chat, I mentioned their like mattifying Martian lotion, some sort of face cream. It was like a little green bottle. Again, it was a 100 point perk. And I'm like, I just really didn't feel anything. I felt nothing about it. I didn't see it doing anything. Right now, I just finished up fairly recently their CEO cream, I think it was called, and I enjoyed the smell of it, but other than that, didn't really like it. Didn't really do anything for me. I didn't feel a pull to go out there and purchase a full size or even get another sample. Like, I think I'm gonna stop spending my 100 point perks on the Sunday Riley samples because it's just not doing anything for me. I think of brands like Ulla Hendrickson, who I purchased a set of samples from them from the Sephora website, and it's gone on, like, Ulla Hendrickson has become one of my favorite skincare brands. I've gone on to purchase products from Ulla Hendrickson because of those samples. I recently started trying Drunk Elephant, Drunk Elephant and Sunday Riley were always kind of like on my list together because they both are high-end. I recently started trying Drunk Elephant products, and there's a lot of them that have been like, okay, yes. I recently mentioned their luxury facial oil in my Makeup Monthly in my favorites for the month of December. So I don't know what it is. Sunday Riley, have you guys tried them? Do you have any standout products from them? Are you like me, you can't figure out what all the hype is about? So that's kind of how I feel. The next product I have here is another eyeshadow palette. I think this might surprise some people. And again, I'm not saying that I dislike this palette or I'm gonna return it or, you know, pass it along or anything like that, but I wasn't quite as excited about it as I thought I might be. And this is the Dream Street palette from Kathleen Lights and Colourpop. I know. I did recently review this one, I believe. Yes, in my Black Friday haul follow-up video, I did review this one. And I said that, you know, I enjoy it and I can make a lot of pretty looks out of it. And I think this one was $16. That's not a bad price at all. And as a whole, I do like the palette, but there are a few disappointing shades in here for me. Shades that just simply don't show up at all on my eyes. And I think once I started playing with it more, I started to realize that, yes, I can create pretty looks with this, but I feel like I'm kind of limited in the palette. We have these two shades, which are fairly similar to one another, and then you also have like the two kind of like teal blue shades that I'm like, I don't know, like maybe if there'd been just one or two different like shade ranges in here, I think maybe I could have gotten more use out of it. But I really like the Colourpop pressed eyeshadows and I really like their palettes. I have a lot of them. I've bought a lot of them and all of that. I did purchase this one, like I said, in my Black Friday haul. So I still like this palette, but especially I think maybe too because I did a first impressions with this and I was like, yes, I am so freaking hyped for this palette. And then as I kept going and as I kept playing with it, I was like, maybe I'm not as hyped as I thought I was going to be. And I also purchased the All I See Is Magic palette from Colourpop just a couple of weeks before this one came out, as I didn't know this one was coming out, because otherwise I probably would have bought this one over the All I See Is Magic. But when people ask me, would you recommend Dream Street or All I See Is Magic, I actually say All I See Is Magic. So that was kind of another thing that let me know that maybe this one was a little bit on the more underwhelming side for me. Again, I still like it. I would still recommend it for the $16 and I'm still gonna play with it and create looks from it. It just didn't get me as hyped as I thought it was going to. And the last one I have here is another eyeshadow palette, and this is from Tarte. This is the Tarte Toasted eyeshadow palette. This was one that I was so excited about. I put it in a Will I Buy It video and I was like, yes, I can't wait. I'm gonna purchase this one right away. I'm so excited for this palette. And I got it and I was like, yes, I love you. Let's do this. Let's go. And the first couple looks I created with it, I was like, yep, all good here. Like, this is great. And then I was like, oh, I think I created all the looks that I can create. It kind of reminded me of like a little bit similar to what I thought about the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Like the colors are just a little bit too monochromatic, too close to one another, and I feel like I'm just kind of creating the same looks over and over again with this palette. I do really like the Tarte Cosmetics formula of their eyeshadows, especially in their these kind of palettes, like the Tarte Linen Bloom I have as well, and I really enjoy that palette. So I decided to keep it. I kind of went back and forth, like, should I keep it? Should I not keep it? It is $46, but I did get it for 20% off at Ulta. So there was that, and I still feel like I can create pretty looks with it. I just, again, I feel like I'm kind of creating the same look. And I was really excited too for this crackle shade. Like I was super stoked for it because it looks to be like a deep brown with a bunch of like gold glitter in it. I just thought I could make the most beautiful, fun eye look, but the glitter all falls out all over your face and disappears, and you basically just have another matte brown eyeshadow, which you already have those in here. So I was a little bit disappointed in that, just because I was so excited for this palette. Like I said, I wanted to purchase it right away. I couldn't wait to create all these different fun looks with it, and I just feel like I'm kind of limited. Similar to the Dream Street palette, I just feel like I'm a little bit limited in all of the different looks that I can create. Like I said, still pretty. I enjoy the formula. These are nice palettes to travel with. They have a mirror. They're nice and compact. Like they're easy to throw into a travel bag, but I wasn't as hyped for this palette as I was hoping I would be. So that is everything for my 10 underwhelming makeup products. I hope that you enjoyed this video and seeing some of the products that, like I said, I still enjoy, and I still liked a lot of these products and I'm keeping them around, but I just didn't quite get as hyped as maybe I see a lot of other people being, or as hyped as I thought I personally would have been for these. I'd love to know if you had the same experience with any of the products that I mentioned, or maybe what is a product that you bought that you were super hyped for and didn't quite hit it out of the park like you were expecting it to, or that you were led to believe through all the YouTube hype and all of that. I would love to know, so leave them in the comments down below. But other than that, that is going to do it for this video, and if you did enjoy it, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.